And then he wants to bring it up back now to make me look bad because he's an asshole.
Listen, no, the point of that intrusive question is to say that we actually sometimes don't even watch our own podcast back. And that's how it is. There's some authors that never read their books after they're published. And they do it purposefully. Because they think that it should remain as it was in the moment.
And most people, when they have a work of art that they do, going back and looking at it is like, maybe I should have did this or should have did that or blah, 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 blah. So for most people who put out some form of art, going back and looking at their work is difficult because it's like, they start to critique it as opposed to appreciate it, you know? So, but hey.
You know, that actually kind of segues into today's podcast topic.
Really enlighten me.
So
connect the dots.
As an artist, or as a, I'm not saying I'm an artist. I can't draw. Austin is very artistic though. So one day, you don't know, he might be a professional designer on the side doing side missions in that way, shape, and form.
Who knows?
But as an artist and as an author, something that you would commonly encounter. I'm speaking from the third person because I've yet to author my first book, but it's in the pipeline.
It's in the process.
In the process, baby. The ink has met the paper.
Mm.
But anyways, I digress. So you will look back on your work and you might say, oh, I should have done this. Or I should be doing this.
Mm.
Now, rather than saying I should have, which is in the past tense, you're better off saying I will do this the next time around, which actually segues perfectly into the topic of today's podcast, which is, Austin,
I will greater than I should.
Exactly. So that means that instead of saying I should be in this position, I should be with this individual, I should have this business operating, you need to think I will have this position, I will have this individual, I will have this business. It's a difference between vision and I'd say just kind of daydreaming.
Right.
Or fantasizing.
And for me personally, I know, and again, we always kind of harken back to this, but to get out of a particular situation I was going through personally, mentally, all that stuff, you have to talk to yourself differently. You know, you can't say, I should be doing this, or, one day I'll, try to do this if I'm feeling good, or some shit like that. You have to say stuff like, I will do this. I will get out the house. I will go do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it helps pretty much condition your mind to think a certain way as opposed to thinking in a way of, maybe if I feel like a type of way, it'll condition it to think, okay, I definitely will do this particular thing at this particular time. And that helps you along the way in life, and whatever you want to do. My dog is, jeez. But yes, so that way of thinking is really good for your brain, for your mind to condition itself to, get with the process. It's a habit. You eventually have to build up a habit of, communicating to yourself in a successful manner that gets you excited or gets you motivated to do things. So, great book.
Great book that I'm about to allude to.
Mm-hmm.
You've read parts of it. I don't think you've read the whole thing, though.
No, I didn't. Definitely did not. No.
I can't give it to you because this is mine.
Yes,
I'll buy you a copy.
Uh,
But I think what Austin is talking about, I think, is also a good indicator of kind of the way you get out of a rut in life, or the way that a very good way that you can deal with, per se, depression and anxiety. And in reality, I would say really the only way is action, because a lot of times the worst thing you can do is stew on what's going on in your mind. And so I think saying I should puts you in a state of inaction and just puts you in a sort of contemplative state.
mm-hmm.
In like, hey, I should be living in Dubai at the Burj Khalifa. But there's no action in that statement. There's no desire, there's no drive. It's almost like an entitlement that says I should be here.
All right.
And so what happens is you're looking at a problem with no solution. And the problem is you're not where you think you should be, but that's it. But when you say I will be living in Dubai in the Burj Khalifa, then you're immediately putting an action statement into fruition.
Ooh.
And that's actually a perfect analogy from this wonderful masterpiece, Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil. Yeah, see, we're out here hey, book references. We can grow rich as well. Napoleon Hill.
Napoleon Hill, the author for the day. So go ahead and finish your point on that, because that's basically along the lines of what I was going to say for that. That was a great point.
Listen, you need to read, bro. If you don't read, bro and broettes, if you read or don't read, please read or listen to audiobooks, because we're speaking with a dead man here. But the point is, the knowledge that he can provide to us in this day and age through a medium is just incredible.
Very much so. And that reminded me of, you know what?
No, he's
This
cool.
this little
He's
guy.
fine. He's fine.
But this reminded me of this particular book, I believe. In this book, I believe Napoleon Hill said to write down, whatever it is that you want to accomplish in life, your dreams, your goals, and write them down as if you will get it or already have it. In that way, again, it basically molds your mind to think and grow rich. That's, hey, the name of the fucking book.
Think and grow.
Yeah. So like it changes your mind and how you think about things to kind of shape how you live towards attaining those goals and whatever you want to do. So when you actually change how you think from I should have this or I should get this to an I will get this attitude, and especially write it down, take it out of your mind and put it into action, then it definitely helps get you to where you would like to go in life. And Napoleon Hill, summarizes this perfectly in this book and also Outwitting the Devil as well.
Let's
So
see if I can find. I highlight my books, but at the time that I wasn't highlighting, I read this book. But I remember I highlighted one passage in here because it was
just one.
just one, and this was like when I started highlighting, and I didn't want to touch this one yet. Let me see if I can find it because it was that good. Okay, just to give you an idea of Napoleon Hill, and again, I still have something to say about Outwitting the Devil. We're going on a tangent here, but it's an important tangent.
It's a great.
It's a good tangent.
Mm-hmm.
So this is from The Fear of Poverty, and in this chapter, Napoleon Hill is talking about.
And you highlighted it, money green.
Money green, baby. I didn't even think about that. Hey, demystify the messages.
Yes, sir.
So this is chapter 15, How to Outwit the Six Ghosts of Fear. And this fear is the fear of poverty. So it's a small excerpt right here. I'm going to read this. This is crazy. This is crazy. Again, this is crazy. I gotta say it 3 times because it really is. I'm going to read from outside just so you get a little bit of context. Fear of poverty is a state of mind, nothing else. But it is sufficient to destroy one's chances of achievement in any undertaking. All right. Now pause the video. Take a breath, wipe your eyes, and come back.
Flush the toilet, clean your hands, wash your hands, then come back.
Be sanitary.
Yeah.
This fear paralyzes the faculty of reason, destroys the faculty of imagination, kills off self-resilience, undermines enthusiasm, discourages initiative, leads to uncertainty of purpose, encourages procrastination, wipes out enthusiasm, and makes self-control an impossibility. It takes the charm from one's personality, destroys the possibility of accurate thinking, diverts concentration of effort, it masters persistence, turns the willpower into nothingness, destroys ambition, beclouds the memory, and invites failure in every conceivable form. It kills love and assassinates the finer emotions of the heart, discourages friendship, and invites disaster in 100 forms, leads to sleeplessness, misery, and unhappiness. And all this despite obvious truth that we live in a society of overabundance of everything the heart could desire, with nothing standing between us and our desire except a lack of definitive purpose. That's one sentence.
Also, if you haven't, well, if you didn't really listen as much as you should have, pause the video, well, not pause it, rewind the video and listen to that again. You might need to listen to that multiple times. Yeah, he's trying to get on. My dog is.
I think he lost his toy.
Yeah, the ball's underneath the couch.
But
yes,
you think he can?
No, he can come back. Trust me, he does it all the time because he's a nincompoop.
I think my couch is a little lower than yours.
Yeah. Anyway, yes. So again, read those books and really soak in all the knowledge that they provide in them. And again, some of the main points that they have is changing your mindset and also being aware of how you think about yourself and how you think about what's going around you as well. So again, getting back to the main topic as far as, I will versus I should, or is greater than I should, you know, saying that you will do something is taking control of your life. You're getting the reins of your life and you're steering that stagecoach of life now. Because when you're saying I should do something, it's almost like you're minimizing your power and the level of kind of, I don't want to say control, but you're minimizing the power that you have over your life and what you can do with it. So when you say I will, it is almost a mantra of sorts because now you can take control of whatever it is that you want to do and wherever it is that you want to go in life and make it happen. And most people are living life on autopilot. They don't want to take control of their lives because honestly it's a lot of pressure. It's
painful.
It's painful. Stuff's gonna happen that doesn't always go your way how you thought it might go, and you're basically the reason for whatever happens. You're in control of it. So when you say that you will do something, it is scary, but it's also very empowering because now you get to steer where you want to go in life. And most successful people realize this and they realize, hey, I can be what I envision in my mind and I will make it happen. So when you have the I will mindset as opposed to I should, that really separates those who succeed and those who don't. Because those who do succeed believe wholeheartedly that they will get to whatever goal that they want. And even if they don't get all the way there, they're probably going to get close because they're striving towards that. It's like, if you shoot for the stars, at least you're going to land on the moon.
Right. That's the bare minimum.
So, and that's higher than it was when you were on Earth. So you have to have that mindset. And again, even if you fail in quotations, with that mindset, you're still going to get even further than you would have if you didn't adopt it. So you have to realize that. That was a long spiel.
It's okay. It gave me time to find almost what I was looking for. But one thing that Austin mentioned was how I will changes your perspective. And as he was like the second he said that, I stopped by one of the quotes from Napoleon Hill in obviously Outwitting the Devil, where he says, "Faith is a state of mind wherein one recognizes and uses the power of positive thought as a medium by which one contacts and draws upon the universal store of infinite intelligence at will."
Ooh.
And so when Austin was saying I will versus I should, and how I will shifts your perspective, I actually think that I will gives you an air of faith. And if you can succeed without believing you're going to succeed, but it's a lot easier to succeed when you have faith in the fact that you will succeed.
Yes.
If you say against all odds or whatever come, have it hail or high water, I will get from point A to point B and then all the way to Z because that's how we roll.
Right.
And so that I think is that's a big component of I will, and then it really does change your perspective. Because I mean, if you have to look at it in binary, I will is positive, and
I
I
should.
should is a negative. It's actually a good
Yes. And
characterization.
honestly, if you even want to get more technical, it's not even a negative, it's more so just it's nothing. Because when you say
Yeah,
I should, you're stagnant. You're not doing anything. You're just thinking about doing something. When you say I will, that turns that zero into a one. That turns that false into a true. That turns that loser into a fucking winner. So, and I'm again, my, Jesus, my dog. But I'm not saying that you're a loser by any means, but I'm saying that when you adopt this mindset, it totally changes everything in life for you. And trust me, you will recognize the difference from when you were living in an I should kind of state of mind and then translating it to an I will. You definitely will notice the difference because now you'll feel just more powerful, more you because you're no longer thinking about what you can do. You're thinking about what you will do, and then what you can, well, not what you can, but what you envision for yourself as it already happening. Most of these people, I saw a video the other day where a woman was getting out of a Lamborghini. Well, she was outside the Lamborghini, and then she got into her Lamborghini, and she said, if you think about things as if you already have them, that you're going to get them, that you will get them, it's going to happen for you sooner or later. Most people, I feel like they break out of that mentality once things get tough and say, this is bullshit. This doesn't work. As soon as things get tough. But that's when most people quit. And when most people quit is when the few continue to go. And those few that who continue to go are the ones that become successful. And that continuously have that mindset of, I will do this no matter what. So again, she was getting in her Lamborghini and driving off. And that's the advice that she gave is basically what we're telling you today. You got to envision shit as if it's already yours and that you will accomplish it down the line. You just don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's there. It's gonna happen. Like you're here at this point. Your success is here. You know you're gonna get there. It's just a matter of time. You know.
and this now that like we're actually talking about this, I'm thinking this could have been like 4 or 5 different podcast topics.
Mm.
And that's kind of why like you see us going like ding 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 ding. It's because again, we don't script these. We just come up with the idea and then we start talking and then referencing books and then we realize like there's a whole lot of things that we really could go into.
Right.
But I think right now is a good moment. Now with the example that Austin gave, I actually want to give you a distinction between manifestation and kind of what we're discussing. Because there's a misconception. And a lot of people will
Oh.
misattribute Napoleon Hill for this as well. They'll say, "Oh, it's just some he just thinks that if I think about $1 million, I will have $1 million if I think about it hard enough." And that's essentially like manifestation. It's kind of like, look, alchemy doesn't truly exist. Chemistry exists, which roots from alchemy. So the idea, and the reason I brought this book out, Outwitting the Devil, is, and I couldn't find the exact quote, but when Napoleon Hill in this book, he's having a conversation. Damn, I lost it right there.
Yeah, I wonder what that was like. Something fall from the
A
ceiling.
lot
That
of
was his spit flying every fucking word. Disgusting,
passion,
disgusting.
passion.
Fuck. Shit. But yeah, he's passionate about what we're telling you today.
I'm the
So
asshole.
listen,
I'm the asshole.
I never said I was an asshole. I'm just.
I feel like people know by now that I'm always an asshole, and you're just like on and off.
Yeah, I choose the select moment to be one. I'm always one in my head, but whenever I want to voice that outwardly, that's I got to choose your time to do that. But back to what you were
Opportunity.
saying because you were saying actually some shit that we definitely agree on, and I hate when people do that bullshit. But go ahead.
So Napoleon Hill he's having a dialogue with the devil. So it's essentially like he's interviewing the devil like trial, jury, and executioner, and the devil cannot lie. And so he basically gets to the point where he gets the devil to confess like, okay, how do you stop? How do you make a human being weak. Well, how do you take control of the mind? Because the devil can only control the mind, not the body, and he can only do so willingly. And that's by making you a drifter. And so, in order to succeed, you need to be a non-drifter. And the definition of a drifter is essentially somebody who has no definiteness of purpose and no definiteness of a plan by which to achieve that purpose. So to give you the quote as I remember it, in order to not be a non-drifter, in order to be a non-drifter, you need to have an obsessive desire. Now, in order to fulfill that obsessive desire, you need definiteness of purpose. And you need a definiteness of a plan by which to achieve that definiteness of purpose, which will result in the fulfillment of your desire. And so the key here is manifestation is like, oh, if I think I will grow rich, I will grow rich. But what Napoleon Hill is saying, you think so hard on growing rich that you will formulate a plan, a definiteness of plan that will fulfill that purpose and that desire of gaining a certain level of wealth to the point that you become rich.
And I hate to make it biblical. Well, actually, I don't, because I support that and we support that on this particular podcast. But we don't discriminate against whatever.
Well,
anyone,
here's the thing. For anybody who might be cringy at a religious thing or a non-religious thing, that means you're just closed-minded. You can disagree, but if you can't find a message in a story, whether it's biblical, non-biblical, or what have you, then you're living with your eyes closed, my friend. But I digress.
So basically, I always emphasize this point, and people always seem to forget it. Faith without works is dead. So that manifestation shit that most people talk is faith without works. And then when it doesn't happen, it's like, oh, but why didn't it happen? I just thought it was going to happen. I really believed it, blah, 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 blah. Nobody said that this shit was just going to magically pop into your fucking hands just because you thought it was going to pop into your hands. They said if you think that it's going to pop into your hands and you work towards it and you don't, throw that dream away because shit gets tough and you keep working towards it and you keep believing in yourself and you keep thinking that you're going to do it and you keep working towards it, thinking and work put together equals the goal that you want. So what this book is talking about, what that book is talking about is the opposite of manifestation, because it's saying, okay, it's not just, oh, you think some shit's going to happen and it's going to happen. No, it's saying if you think and grow. Growing is an action word. That means that, it's
Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack and the Beanstalk.
It's
growth.
It's
a bridge.
It's a verb.
Yeah.
So it's action.
A bridge is a noun, not bad.
No, I'm just saying grow. The grow part is a verb. It's an action.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
In order to, you have to think and grow to get to rich. You see what I'm saying here, man? Hey, we're connecting the dots there. You can't say that we're not fucking doing it. And again, this is off the dome. So if you want anything in life, you have to change that thought into an action. That changes that I should, which is the thought, into an I will, which is ending up in an action. So you're going to take that thought, act upon it, and eventually get to where you need to fucking go, man. Damn, we're killing it today, man. Woo! Boy. Hey, that Lions, man.
That Lions, man, bro. I'm telling you. Listen, you didn't say once today.
That's crazy, man. Crazy. Hey, whoever wants to give us a deal, man, We're
sponsor
here.
us for Lions Mane.
Yeah, I was gonna say a podcast deal for multiple millions of dollars, but Lions Man too. That you got to start somewhere
No, that's the point. They sponsor us
to do a podcast
with Lions
while on Lions
and
Man,
then we support the product.
and
You
then
put it here. It's like Lions Mane.
Lions Man. All right, man. Fuck. Okay.
I don't even know,
Any
bro.
closing thoughts before we close today on this particular topic?
There were just so many. I don't think y'all understand how sporadic this podcast was. I think that's a testament to how much we think about these things. That like we can't even. There's so many points you can go from this from like one. There's so many branches you can go from one route. I really liked your verb, think and grow rich,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how you distinguish manifestation from actual action. But man, at the end of the day, I guess my closing thought would be I will versus I should. It's a positive versus a negative. Positive is, you know, they have to exist. I think there's a place for both of them, but just avoid stagnation in your life by thinking I should, think I will, and then put it into action because action always beats inaction and speed always beats a lack of speed. But again, that's not to be, don't take what we say the wrong way and don't take it into an extreme because again, you have to strategize. You have to think about things. You have to be adaptable. So you can't always be I will, and also you have to pick your I wills because
Mm.
you have a limited lifetime and you have limited capacities. And Austin, what podcast was it where we talked about you can? Oh, it was knowing when to give a fuck.
That's right.
Where that's the example where Austin basically said that I will give a fuck about everything and Austin gives a fuck about almost nothing. And that's a good example where it's like if I am approaching the world with the I will perspective, I could go way out of line and then just essentially spread myself too thin and just waste my life on things that aren't really important. Whereas Austin's going to hone in on the things that are really vital and important and then just streamline the process and skyrocket up. So keep that in mind that your I wills should be rooted in a good foundation where they actually matter and they're actually important.
Mm.
Like getting that Rolex or spending your the last 2-3 weeks of your mother's life with her, which one's more important? I will spend time with my mom, or I will get that Rolex.
You can always get that fucking Rolex.
But you're never gonna get that time back.
Exactly. Hey man, this has been a great podcast. Actually, probably my favorite one that we've done.
So, shout out to Lions, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Napoleon Hill.
Read, you fucking idiots. Okay, I'm joking. But read for real.
Hey, it's an endearing term, all right? From us to you.
Signing out, man.
AM Club Podcast. Out.
You said it the full way this time.
Yeah.